What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday, August 31st, day number 47 inside the Big Brother house. Nominations took place yesterday. Who is on the block? Who is the real target? But does that matter to the rest of the house? Let's talk about that, plus all the intel drama and more from yesterday's live feeds. But first, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video? Hit that like button. Hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Speaking of streams, we had two great live streams over the past few days. Our Thursday night eviction watch party. If you haven't made it out to one of those, definitely check out next week. We do a watch party for every live eviction right here on the channel. They're a lot of fun. Also, every Friday, we do our live update just like this every morning. We have a live feed update for you, but Fridays, we go live. You get the same update you get, but afterwards, we get to chat and hang out, and it's always a lot of fun. We broke over that 1,000 live concurrent viewers on our Friday morning live stream, so come on out to the next one if you have a chance. Let's jump into what's been going on inside the house. To give you guys a little recap, if you haven't been keeping up, after a clutch AI Arena win from MJ, Tucker was evicted by a 5-3 vote, with Quinn being the deciding vote in that eviction. He goes on to win HOH for this week, and Quinn was looking at a target of Angela, with Chemo and Rubina as the other two potential nominees. He also was planning on setting up an alliance of 7 people at Final 10. Okay. Let's jump into what happened, though, yesterday on the live feeds. And let's start with a note about Cam. Yes, a Cam note. So Cam is usually very quiet on our updates. He's not usually involved in too much things. He's usually just kind of chilling, letting things go. We found out the other day that he's allergic to peanut butter, which to me would make him the #1 target in my book. But another kind of interesting fact, he's also allergic to eggs. And if you've been keeping up, the HOH competition was the egg chicken wire comp, where you got to move the egg in the chicken wire with your fingers through the holes. He's allergic to eggs. And I guess BB thought that was just him not being able to eat eggs. But apparently, even if it, like, the yolk and the whites touch his skin, like, that can make him potentially break out. So that was an interesting little side effect for Cam in that HOH, but seemingly everything worked out all right in the long run. Like we mentioned in our recap, though, it was nominations day, and Quinn was considering Angela, Rubina, and Chemo, and that's what he did. They went up on the block as your nominees for the week, and people are a little weird by it, right? Chemo did try and do a last-ditch effort to meet with Quinn before the nominations, but Quinn kind of told him, he's like, listen, this is only because you're a pawn, right? Like, you're not the target. You know, Rubina's not even the target. It's Angela. We're going for Angela. I just got to put somebody up there on the block. T-Core is still super confused on why Quinn would do this. I wonder, right? I wonder why. They also think it's Quinn's fault in the first place that they even had a flip on Cedric, and that she was protecting him all last HOH with her power, saying that if she knew the Visionaries was done, she would have put him up on the block. But also, T-Core has this crazy notion that they never flipped, that they weren't the ones to flip on the alliance. Everyone else flipped on them. Oh, brother. She also says she's very angry and she's hurt with how everything went with Tucker being evicted and Quinn kind of not going along with getting Angela out of the house last week over Tucker. And she says that, you know what, with Chemo and Rubina going up on the block, Quinn going forward will be her #1 target. Rubina also having a hard time, not just with the nomination and Tucker leaving, but just feeling isolated from the others. Even before the nominations were official, she was telling T-Core, like, even Chelsea seems like she's avoiding her and she's worried about her standing in the game. Angela was weepy and emotional afterwards. So normal Angela behavior. Something also interesting that I didn't realize at the time, we mentioned it on our Friday morning update. When Quinn was having his one on one with Angela, she was like, you should put somebody up that's new on the block. He then later went on to have a conversation with Leah, having the one on one. And Angela came back and interrupted. And she's like, I just want to clarify what I meant by that. I didn't mean Joseph, which at the time I was just like, oh, that's just kind of Angela being Angela, right? Interrupting a one on one to be like, I didn't mean to put up Joseph. And I just thought that was kind of funny, but it didn't actually really click with me. There are only 3 people who have not been nominated. It's Joseph, Leah, and Decor. And if she's saying it's not Joseph, and Leah is in the room, and Leah was just talking about how Angela's one of her employees, that only leaves Decor, that Angela was really suggesting to be the one to go up on the block. And I just thought that was kind of an interesting thing. People were kind of checking on her as the day went on. She was kind of crying. I know Leah stopped by to make sure she was good. Cam stopped by to make sure she was good, but she was just kind of very quiet and weepy for most of the day. Tucker's impact is also, or should I say lack of, still being felt in the house. He was brought up a lot by almost everyone in there about all the things he was doing, people being afraid to say his name when he was still there. Now that he's gone, things are kind of opening up and changing, and he was a big topic throughout the day. Now, Quinn's also been talking about this 7-person alliance we mentioned in the recap. It would be the 5 people who voted Tucker out. So Quinn, Cam, Chelsea, MJ, and Leah, plus T-Core and Joseph. And we mentioned earlier, T-Core now sees Quinn as his number 1 target. Though Quinn keeps trying to say almost what T-Core says about Chelsea, where he's like, if anybody goes after T-Core, they're going down, right? So he's almost protecting her just as much as T-Core protects Chelsea. And it's not reciprocal, right? Like it is very one-sided protections in that. He would also, in that 7, like it to be a core of himself, Quinn, Cam, Chelsea, and T-Core. So that would be kind of the main group. And then you would have Joseph, MJ, and Leah kind of underneath them in that group as well. He's also even mentioned liking MJ a lot and thinking a 4-person alliance with Quinn, MJ, Chelsea, and Cam might be interesting. But Chelsea kind of pushed like, hey, like let's wait until after veto, kind of figure this all out later. And she also mentioned to MJ that both of them do not trust Joseph. So even though this is kind of Quinn's plan, they're both looking at Joseph as their number 1 target at the moment. And that was MJ and Chelsea. Now, Quinn has also mentioned another plan that he kind of has to Chemo and T-Core about the Visionaries doing this kind of like +1 scenario where T-Core's having Chelsea as her +1, Chemo would have Rubina, and then himself, Quinn, would have Joseph. So that's like another little plan that he's kind of doing, and they can kind of work both sides. As of right now, though, Angela is Quinn's target, but I don't see the other people in the house not voting one of the trio out of Chemo, Rubina, and T-Core should any of them be on the block on Thursday. Best chance that they would have to make sure that doesn't happen is to have T-Core win veto today and then pull one of them down to make sure that 2 of them on the block, only 1 is left up there. If that was the scenario, I'm not even 100% sure who Quinn's replacement nom would be. He's kind of in a little bit of a jam. He's keeping Cam and Chelsea safe. They're pretty much not touching the block at all this week. But he's also trying to keep Leah close, even though he knows that she's probably going to snake and stab him in the back here at some point. And he's also trying to keep MJ close as well. Then you also have his deal that he's working with Joseph. So I'm not 100% sure who the renom would be other than potentially T-Core. But if she wins veto, again, that puts Quinn in quite a pickle there on someone that he would have to put up on the block. We could take a look here at our allegiance map for the week. I've changed it up a little bit, as you can see. I've kind of moved Joseph down. He's more online with Leah at the moment. I'd say MJ is underneath that, but a big group all on one side with Chelsea way up at the tops, and she's even getting protected from people on the other side of the house. Then underneath, I would have Quinn. He's being propped up at the moment, mainly because he's in a position of power with the HOH, which is kind of always what happens when you get the HOH. You get a little bit more social credit for that week, for that day, even. Then just underneath him, I would have Cam. I would then put T-Court just a little bit below, because again, even though she's on the other side of the house, similar to Chelsea, she's got a lot of people who are seemingly trying to work with her, trying to protect her. Even Quinn seemingly trying to keep her safe as well. Then underneath her, I would have people like Rubina, Chemo. Just underneath them, Joseph, Leah, and Mackenzie, since so many people are now looking at Joseph as a potential nominee. Over on the other side, they're all thinking about MJ and Leah as the big targets as well. And then you have Angela, who's just kind of barely hanging on down there as well. Another thing some people have been asking is like, hey, Ori, you used to do the alliance charts. Whatever happened to them? I kind of fell into the point where I didn't believe in any of the alliances this year. And I felt like the allegiance map was kind of the way to go with how everything was playing out this season. But just to give you guys a little thing here, since people were asking about it, to give you a little update and also to kind of show the craziness that is Quinn's plan, I have thrown together a little bit of an alliance chart here. You've got the Friends minus a Z with Chemo, T-Core, and Rubina. You also have another trio of the Visionaries with Chemo, T-Core, and Quinn. Just underneath there, their kind of +1 plan with Rubina, Chelsea, and Joseph underneath them. Over on the other side there, you've got the Pentagon, aka now the triangle, since it's just a 3-sided figure with Cam, Chelsea, and Quinn. Underneath that, I really wanted to make sure to kind of point out the Cam and Chelsea duo, as they're just a really strong pair in this game at the moment. Leah and MJ just underneath them, while not a pair, I wanted to keep them close to each other in this to kind of show how that all is. Underneath there, we also have Leah and her lover boys, has little relationships with each of them, right? She's got stuff going on with Joseph. She's got stuff going on with Quinn. She's got stuff going on with Cam. Not 100% alliances per se, but definitely something to keep in mind. And then in the middle there, we have Quinn's crazy proposed alliance. You've got Cam, Chelsea, Quinn, and T-Core as like the core of that alliance, and then underneath there, a giant 7-person alliance in final 10 with Cam, Chelsea, Quinn, T-Core, Leah, MJ, and Joseph. So pretty much everybody but the nominees this week. Again, I don't really buy into any of these. The trios up there at the top, those you can kind of rely on, especially Friends and the Pentagon/Triangle. It seems like Cam and Chelsea are really starting to buy in that, listen, Quinn's kind of got his stuff together right now. He's really sticking strong and tight with us. We can kind of trust in that and work with that for now. Will they eventually turn on him? Absolutely. But I think they see other targets in front of him before they would have to worry about Quinn. So I think he would be safe in that aspect. You would have people like Joseph who would go before him. I think potentially even MJ would end up going before Quinn. Maybe even Rubina, Chemo, and Angela, depending on who survives this week as well. But if we go back to our allegiance chart and kind of to talk a little bit about where potential votes might lie, Angela, right, doesn't really have anybody really looking out for her, right? We can pop back to our alliance chart. She's all alone. She's not in any of these alliances. She's just kind of floating around doing her thing. She would seem to be the one that would be most likely to be voted out. But because of that positioning, where she's not working with everybody, Quinn said it before that she's a real threat now, that if she gets into the jury, people are going to want to drag her to the final 2, and she's going to keep being kind of that eternal pawn that's always up just to knock out the person that is next to her. And you can kind of just rinse and repeat once the AI arena is done, which I think we all expect to be wrapping up after this week once jury starts. It would be really easy just to throw Angela up there, throw up your target. If your target happens to come down, throw up your second next target, and you almost guarantee that person will be headed to the jury house. So I could see where a lot of people would consider keeping her over Rubina, Chemo, or T-Core. Now, if for some reason T-Core ended up on the block with Rubina, Chemo, or Angela, I think T-Core would be very safe this week. I don't think T-Core would end up going anywhere. I think Rubina would be the most likely to be voted out, but I could also see them saying, hey, why don't we get rid of Chemo since Chemo and T-Core are the tightest of the two? And I could see Chelsea feeling that way because that would bring T-Core much closer to her. I could see Quinn even feeling that way because it brings, again, T-Core closer to their side because she wouldn't have Chemo to rely on, just Rubina. So I think there is a very, very strong chance that whoever ends up on the block, if they are up there against Angela, it's not going to matter. They're going to vote one or the other out. If Angela ends up coming off the block, be it with the veto or winning AI Arena, and you're looking at someone like Rubina versus Chemo, I think Rubina could end up going. But again, there's that strong connection that Chemo and T-Core have. But really, any of the three going would be good for almost everybody else's game. The only one I think that would very strongly like to have Angela go over everybody else seems to be Quinn. He's the only one who very much is like, listen, she took away from me final two. He fully believes his time is pretty much done for at this point in the game, that he is just kind of playing just to have fun now at this point. He doesn't feel like he has a shot to win. So he's like, if I'm going to do anything, I want to make sure that Angela doesn't get to go to jury. Plus, if he is somehow lucky enough to get to the end, he doesn't see Angela ever voting for him to win. So that is not somebody that he would want on that jury anyway. But again, I don't think anybody else in the house necessarily sees and views it that way. I think they would more likely want to break up that trio of Rubina, Chemo, and T-Core if they have that shot. But again, it's very early. We haven't even gotten to the veto yet. Once the veto takes place and we kind of know who the final noms will be going into the AI Arena, it'll be a little bit easier to kind of figure out. I'm sure lots more conversations will take place this week on where all the votes are going to lie. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think of Quinn's nominations? Who do you think will be the one who's in the most danger this week should they stay up on the block? And what do you think of all this weird alliance plans that are going on? Let me know in those comments down below. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the love and support that you guys show me here on this channel. You can check out all the links to my socials in the description, pinned comment down below. Things like the Discord and Twitter, great place to keep track of everything going on. Every time I post a video, you'll see the notifications up there if you don't have the YouTube notifications work. I know sometimes they kind of glitch out. Also, you can check out Twitch and Kick. I know they're quiet, and I talk about them being quiet, but we'll get them up and running soon. We will. You could also just, if you really want to support this channel, you know, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button. Hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. But just all the love and support that you guys show me here is just, I cannot say it enough. Truly appreciated. I'm still shocked that even one person shows up to watch my videos. Thank you guys all again so much, and I will see you next time.
Row, 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 row. Oh, the water's a little turbulent.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! We can both.